Between Chelsea and Liverpool, lots to get into it. It took us just 18 minutes then to end almost 8 hours of goalless action between these two in the Premier League. Liverpool's new number 7. What a fine goal this was, Michael.
Yeah, it was a very good goal from back to front as well, Steve. It was McAllister actually he's playing in the deeper role in that Liverpool midfield. It was his ball that sprayed out to Mo Salah. Lovely touch on the right foot of Salah, and then he placed this quite exquisite ball. I mean, we'll see a better angle of it here. Here's the pass from McAllister, taking a foot on his back foot, on his right foot, and then watch this. This is the perfect angle for it. I mean, you won't see a better pass all season.
Absolutely sublime, because it's going away. It's his left foot. To do it, a right footer coming back towards your teammate, or the outside of his left foot. But it had to be absolutely perfect, because it's going to go away towards the keeper. Look, but it's absolutely spot on. What a pass. You can't defend. You can't defend when you've got people that can cut you open like that.
Sometimes you just have to as defenders, put your hands up and say, he got me there, you know, and I couldn't do nothing about it. These are one of those, you know, that kind of pass. Sometimes you just say, wow.
Yeah, and a little unsung hero in there, Szoboszlai's pass. I mean, he was under pressure and he's coming to the ball as well. A little layoff like that. It's a dangerous area, the pitch that in the centre, and he lays it off beautifully. It was a lovely team goal right from back to front.
And Liverpool thought they'd doubled their advantage. Mo Salah, who's always scored on the opening weekend in his Liverpool career, thought he'd done so again.
Very close, wasn't it? Yeah, it was very close. I mean, Chelsea had one chalked off, which I'm sure we'll see, and Liverpool did too. Mo Salah on the first goal, he makes a run, you know, down the line, alongside the line. This time he does his trademark out-to-win run. And I think he can make a slightly flatter run and then he'd be onside. He just goes a little bit too direct, but we're talking inches there, lads.
We're talking fractions, aren't we, to be honest? But to be honest, I think Colwill is an excellent player, but it's very difficult because they're putting him out as a left-back. They're going into a 4 at times. They're not swinging Chilwell round. And he's getting 1v1 against Salah, and I think that was a problem for him there. He should be tucked inside to cover that sort of ball, and Chilwell should be doing it so that James stays out and they do it the other way round. They can do it on the other side of the pitch, Chelsea. I think Pochettino at half-time might have a look at that, because there's a couple of times where Salah's got in there and the goal come from that way as well.
Now, Jimmy, you know what it's like to score on your Premier League debut for Chelsea? So too does Axel Disasi now with the equaliser.
Yeah, and good for him. He stays in after the corner for the second phase. It gets cleared, it gets goed back in, and then he's there at the right place at the right moment, and he scuffs it a little bit. And we all know, you know, when you don't hit it perfectly. They have got 6 in the box with the header. That is brave. That's being brave. And they get paid off, and yeah, you take those ones on your debut. He doesn't hit it that clean, but it doesn't matter. It goes in the back of the goal, and 1-1. And from that moment, Chelsea kicked on. You know, absolutely. Chelsea became stronger.
Because less than 2 minutes later, as Michael says, it's 1-1 in goals. It's 1-1 in disallowed goals as well. This was Ben Chilwell, another very tight one, Glenn.
It's very tight. I think this one's more offside than Salah. Salah's one that, for me, should be given, and we're going down fractions. But I think he's just offside. Doesn't he take it well, though? He really does keep his head, because Alisson is a really good goalkeeper 1v1. There, I think, even with the naked eye, I think you can just see that he's offside, whereas Salah's like, we go down fractions. But a great finish. But the problem we got, obviously, with these decisions is the whole stadium lifts off, the player celebrates, and the people...
Jimmy celebrates.
Sorry?
Jimmy celebrates.
Jimmy celebrates, but, you know, and then it's all coming down. We've got to wait for...
It's drama, isn't it? It's drama.
That one was more offside than Salah. Salah's one, I think... We're going down absolute fractions, and for me, it's going to kill the game.
Both runs there, both of them could have been avoided. Both Chilwell and Salah could have had their goals, you know,
frustrates you, that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, because they're so eager to make a direct run to go. Just run along the line, you keep your momentum still. You keep your momentum, and you can just arc at the end.
You would forgive Chilwell a little bit, because he is not a striker, but Salah should know better with his run.
But don't you think with VAR that young kids now, or strikers, you've got to do that? Because even if they're going to go for these fractions, you've got to go even backwards first and go in. Because that's the difference, that little fraction of a square run to go in. The last place you want to go is just straight in, because you're going to be given given offside on VAR. So that's a new thing. A rule is making players do something completely different. Young strikers now, you have to teach them now to go square and go in, or backwards, take a step back and go in, and you'll find you'll be onside.
Brilliant. I'll let you carry on your team talk to your two strikers. We'll take a quick break. It is all square at the break in Mauricio Pochettino's first game in charge of Chelsea. Been something of a roller coaster already for him as well. Jurgen Klopp having his say, though, to see if he can maintain his recent unbeaten record away at Stamford Bridge. Finally poised for the second half. Back to Stamford Bridge shortly, where it is 1-1. Liverpool took the lead after 18 minutes. After 12, though, Mo Salah hit the woodwork, Michael, as well.
He did. I felt this was a poor ball, really, from Gakpo. Played it to his back foot, and he almost had to, almost slowed down the whole momentum. But by the time he got it back under control, it was on his right foot, on his swinger. But it wasn't a bad effort at all. He had the goalkeeper scurrying across there.
Who's your money on second half here?
Well, it's been such a good game, and I've got to say, Liverpool, it's been a bit like a boxing match. Liverpool were in control. Chelsea have counter-punched in a way, and then they've taken control. I just hope that the momentum of this game continues. Sometimes half-time comes and you can't regain the pattern of the play again. I think it will be as exciting in this second half because there's so many good offensive players on the pitch.
Yeah. OK, final instructions there from Reece James. Are we to have a winner? Let's find out. Back with Andy and with Connor.
Blown by Anthony Taylor. It settles a point apiece. They each had a goal disallowed. Tight margins for VAR. But Pochettino against Klopp finishes Chelsea 1, Liverpool 1.
Full of entertainment, could have even had a twist right at the end in Chelsea's favour. But just as it was at half-time, it is at full-time, 1-1, and Mauricio Pochettino begins life at Chelsea with a point. Is that about right, do you think, Jimmy?
I think second half, Chelsea could have won it. They were the better team. The only thing, the final pass, But Chelsea did ever so well, and look, they've come a long way from their performances last year to put this kind of performance down. They looked good majority of the time. Yes, they started a little bit itchy in the first half, but to after control the game how they did that, against Liverpool, against a really good team, it's encouraging. It's encouraging where Chelsea can get to.
Were you pleasantly surprised, particularly the second half there from Chelsea?
Yeah, very much in control of the game. I've got to say, Chelsea's best play was after they went 1-0 down. Their response was fabulous. All right, Salah's goal was disallowed 2-0, is a different story. But their response as a team, that's where I think Mauricio will be delighted with the way they've played. From 1 down, they got back in the game, might have gone 2-1 up with Chilwell. And then second half, they controlled massive chunks of that game, and they looked as if they had a good shape. They knew they had clarity in their shape. They knew what they were doing. I think he'd be absolutely delighted with that. He hasn't got the 3 points, but you can just see where they're going. They've got a foothold there, and you can see where that stepping stones, where they can go as a team. And you get another midfield player in there like Casado. Wow, that midfield is going to be as good as anything in the league.
What of Liverpool today, Michael?
Yeah, it was a good game. I agree with the lads. I thought Chelsea were very good, but I wouldn't be despondent if I was a Liverpool fan either. I thought they played particularly well. Still probably need an extra midfielder in there.
Casado
would be lovely. Yeah, but the two players that did play, Szoboszlai and McAllister, encouraging. This is a tough place to go. Don't be fooled by them coming wherever they came 12th in the league last season. This is a very, very tough place to go. New manager, new sort of excitement around the place. And Chelsea, with no European football this season, with that team and with probably the promise of a couple of extra very, very talented bodies, I mean, they've gone up in my estimation today. But as I say, I wouldn't be despondent if I was a Liverpool fan. It was a decent game, decent performance, and there'll be easier games ahead than that.
Yeah, and on paper, Michael, away from home, that's an area Liverpool need to improve, isn't it? Just 8 defeats last season away from home, only 23 points away from Anfield.
Yeah, But you go further back, and as I just touched on, Chelsea's never been an easy place to go to. Stamford Bridge can be a little bit of a fortress, and yes, they've had a bad season last season, but so did Liverpool. You know, and I don't think either manager will be that disappointed with the point, and I don't think either manager will be that disappointed with their performance of the team as well. Probably Pochettino, slightly the happier man, because, to say, from the depths of where they've been last season, that was a huge improvement.
I think Klopp would be delighted. There was a 25-minute spell in that second half. Chelsea had them right on the ropes, and they were going at them, and they couldn't create anything really. Alisson, how many saves did he have to make? And the back four stayed firm, strong. They didn't have that much protection defensively in midfield, but I think you look at that spell of the game and go, wow, look, we know we want to be a front foot team playing forward and playing attacking football, which with their strikers, whoever they play, they're going to be like that. But for me, he'll look back at that and go, wow, our back four didn't half play well. We took a hell of a lot of pressure and we dealt with it.
Yeah, but Chelsea, if you look at the team, you know, how they coped with it and how mature they became in the second half. Enzo, what a player, you know, getting himself out of tight areas and have that control. And Jackson is only going to get better, you know, tweak a little bit of little things, you know, in the box of him when crosses are going to come in from Reece, you know, just to get in front of his defenders a little bit. He will get goals. It was very encouraging for Chelsea today, very encouraging.
Maybe all Chelsea need is a former player to go in as a strikers coach. So 2 goals in this one, 27 goals to open your Premier League weekend. 3 of them, of course, from the champions on Friday. Then those victories for Arsenal, Brighton, Fulham, Palace, and emphatically for Newcastle on Saturday. 2 draws today, but 2 very entertaining games between Brentford and Spurs in Ange Postecoglou's first league match in charge, and as we've just seen, in Mauricio Pochettino's first of Chelsea against Liverpool. The good news is it's not over. 1 more to come. Michael and I back with you for Manchester United Wolves and our first edition of the final word this season. More from Michael, Jimmy and Glenn to come, plus all the reaction from Stamford Bridge. Plenty to talk about. Liverpool had the better of it earlier on, but the response from Chelsea was an extremely positive one. And in the end, both managers, who have a huge mutual respect, will be pretty happy. Well, it was a big day for him. The pre-season is all well and good, but this is when it really matters, and he got a terrific ovation, as did Liverpool from their away fans as well. They're now unbeaten in 6 league visits to Stamford Bridge. And as I mentioned at the top, Liverpool had 2 new faces, far more recognisable, really, than the Chelsea team. And as we discussed, it probably wasn't the one that Pochettino thought he would be able to pick when he first took the job. But in terms of improvement in one game, percentage-wise, given the disarray of Chelsea, is that more than you expected to see today, Jimmy?
I knew that there was going to be improvements, because I've seen them pre-season and they looked very good and very energetic and very well organized. But you're playing Liverpool, so and the forwards of Liverpool, they are just, for me, the best in the league at the moment, combined. Yeah, so you know Chelsea's going to be at times under pressure, and how will they cope? Are they mature enough? Because it's a very, very young team. And in the beginning, yeah, there were a few moments where you thought, ooh, this can go 2-3-0. But then they got control into the game, and they matured themselves in the game, and they controlled it really, really well. And they looked dangerous. And it was just that final bit. And of course, that's the hardest bit in football, to get that final bit right. But, and with all the respect from last year, who the players and managers were and stuff, the difference is immense. You know, how much energy they put in it, how much pressing, you know, was done as a team, the compactness, but then also the play with ball, how sharp they look. And Enzo is a much better player than last year. He was already a good player, but the things that he does, you know, is just breathtaking to watch. And for Chelsea, it's encouraging. It's really encouraging at the moment.
And Glenn, is it ultimately, I know it's one game, but in terms of the pre-season that Jimmy's talking about, does that start with coaching organisation, so the players have a clear plan from the manager now?
That's what I said. As a coach, you need your players to have clarity. He's got a vision in his mind as a coach. He wants them then to take that out on the pitch. Now, sometimes if that goes amiss, there's a gap there, it doesn't happen. So what he's wanting, how he wants them to play, like, for instance, with the ball, they were in a back three, so they spread the pitch, they were wide, they get width, and then defensively they had to quickly swing into a 4. So that takes a bit of time in pre-season to work on, and you've got to get the right personnel. He had the right personnel. I think Colwell, it could have been done on the other side of the pitch. I think Colwell might get found out if you've got a flying winger, which he won't be tested any more than Salah, will he, all season? And he coped really well. I thought the kid did fantastic. He's a good player, Colwell. But things like that are coming, and they'll get better and better. Things like you said about the striker. Well, once he's played with Reece James more and more, he knows Reece James wants to put first-time crosses in, or he'll take a touch and he'll put it in early. So he will get across the front. More than that, he goes, right, with it.
Getting that relationship,
exactly, that relationship. He'll get across the front of the post there. Maybe if it's somebody else, Chilwell on the other side, he knows he's not going to put early ones in. He'll work it, and we'll work it slower, so he'll be a bit more patient. Those things are things that you put into a team, and they slowly grow, and you can see that today. That second half performance I thought was really good from Chelsea. I thought their balance of their team, the way they played against, as Jimmy said, not a mediocre team, against a very good Liverpool side.
Okay.
Still, and he can put it. That's easier to do than when you're actually running at somebody, dropping your shoulder, trying to beat, and then suddenly out the corner, you split second, bang.
To
do that on the run,
as well,
on the run is much harder.
It's one thing to go at full speed. Second, to have an idea, this is what I'm going to do, and then also execute it, you know, in perfection. And that's what he did, you know, in perfection. Look, the guy who scored the goal, Diaz, he just have to tap it in, you know? And yes, you know, those are the hardest moments, I know, but you would take a chance like that every day of the week.
You do know, Jimmy, that's why you were the highest paid player in every team you played in. Number 7, they've given him, Luis Diaz. Amongst the list of factors for Liverpool's struggles last season, how far up were the fact that he didn't play between October and April?
Well, he came to Liverpool and immediately put that red shirt on and was just at home. The way he played, the way he settled in, he was just unbelievable right from minute 1. And it was such a bitter blow when he got injured. Now, Liverpool have got, you know, an array of great attacking options.
Have they got anyone who offers quite what he offers, though?
He presses great, his energy is great, he scores goals. I mean, he gets kicked and he gets back. I love his attitude. I think he's very unique. And no question about it, as soon as he's back fit, he's in the team. And you think keeping someone like Nunez on the bench, who cost an awful lot of money, and others, I think he's a go-to man for Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah, I think he's got a little bit of cover there if something did happen to him with Jota. I see Jota scores goals, whether he's down the middle, outside. I think it suits him coming from outside to in. When he plays central, like he did a little bit first start, he was, for me, his back to play and the way Liverpool play, I think he's better coming out from the wide position, arriving in the box, arriving as a centre-forward. But no, Diaz, top player, really is.
Let's get some Liverpool react. That's Liverpool's new captain, back live to Stamford Bridge to their new vice-captain, Trent Alexander-Arnold, who's going to join us live. Trent, good to see you again. How did you view that today?
I thought we started the game really well. We dictated the game. We picked them apart. We beat their press, and we created a lot of chances. And they couldn't quite handle it. But then, you know, they get the goal and the game changes. Or even our goal gets disallowed and the game changes. I think if that stands, then it's a completely different game. But, you know, talking about ifs and buts. But it's, you know, the signs were there that we've got potential to go and achieve things this season. But we need to work hard on certain aspects of it.
And in the second half, when Chelsea had a lot of the ball, is it a positive for you that the way you hung in there and kept them at bay?
For sure. I think, you know, we came on in the second half still wanting to win the game, but I think at a certain point you realise that's going to be really difficult and you're going to leave yourself exposed. And although we did push to try, I think in the back of our minds, it was always leave with the point. You don't want to push too hard and leave yourself exposed. So we hung in there. We defended well, and we're proud of that. We work on that defensively. So why not use it?
Trent, it's Michael Owen. I was just recalling a pass of the season from yourself at Stamford Bridge not so long ago. What did you make of Mo Salah's pass for the goal today? It was quite exquisite.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we see it a lot in training, and we've seen that before. His precision on those kind of passes and the way to pass there is outstanding. And he's, I don't think I need to say too much about Mo. He speaks for himself in the way he goes about his business, and long may it continue for the club, because he's one of the best players in the club's history, and it's an honour to play and share the pitch with him.
And just a quick word on the two new signings, Szoboszlai and McAllister in midfield. How do you think they did?
Outstanding, to be honest. Outstanding. Obviously, Dom coming into a new league and showing his class and his work ethic and his versatility as well, the different roles he was playing. And then Alexis probably playing in a different role to what he's used to, but he showed his quality as well, on and off the ball. I think the pair of them will be very proud of themselves, but they know that it's the first game of the season. It's a long season, and we're gonna need them to really dig deep and help us if we want to go and achieve things.
And Trent, I introduce you as the new vice captain. In all seriousness, how proud are you of that responsibility? Someone who's been at the club, we've talked before, all your life, and with hundreds of games under your belt now, local lad.
Very much so. It's something I've worked hard on. I see myself as a leader, and I'm happy that the manager and his staff and the players do as well. So it's a big role, and it's something that I enjoy. I enjoy that responsibility. I think it brings the best out of me. So I'm honoured, but the hard work starts now, and hopefully I'm able to help the team in that role to push on and achieve some pretty special things this season and going forwards.
So finally, a solid start. How important is it to open the season in a positive fashion after last season? And given, you look around the Premier League and what everyone else is spending, the competition that's likely this year.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same every season. There's 4 or 5 teams that you could put money on to challenge for the league, and it's no different this season. So, teams are looking good from what we've seen so far this weekend, and I'm sure that'll continue. The league gets more and more difficult every single year, and there's quality players and quality teams every single week that you play. So, it's going to be difficult, but we see ourselves as one of the best, and we see ourselves as challengers. So we need to act like that and perform like that, and I think today was a good foundation to go and build on.
Absolutely.
The adrenaline must be pumping. What an opening encounter between you and Mauricio Pochettino. You said you'd gone without defensive midfield because you believed in your attack, and wow, how impressive they were today. It was back and forth. Sum up the match for us and where those strengths need to improve to get over the line to the win.
Oh, we have to extend our good spells, so that's clear. So I thought we had a sensational good start into the game, really good. Calmed the stadium down, which was ready, and you could see after when we let them get up again. So that was good, but that's obviously the thing we have to do. We have to extend our good spells, and then in the lesser good spells we have to be more active against the ball. We were there too passive, we were too deep. That gave Chelsea the opportunity to play the way they played. It's not really complicated, but it is in moments when you are not 100% in, and when you're a bit too deep, then you open up these gaps. You can never defend a gap by stepping back. It's just not possible. Means you have to step into towards the boy in possession, and that's what we didn't do often enough. That's why we had to invest much more physically than we should have in these moments. The good news, if we would have done that, then we could have invested all the physical stuff into our own offensive things. So first half, okay, 1-1, 2 sensational goals from my team, 2 really nice goals from Chelsea, but 1-1. And second half, we had our chances, they had their moments, they put us under pressure obviously, but we had our moments. So for me the 1-1 is absolutely fine. I saw a lot of good things, and I want to keep working on them.
McAllister really put in a shift in that role, but that's not what he's here for. His talents are many and lie elsewhere. Lots of Liverpool fans would like to see Caicedo coming to Liverpool. Is that still looking likely? And if not, is there someone else lined up? And how do you look back at this past week and how it must be for a player involved in this tug of war in the transfer window?
But I can nothing say about the players, and actually I can nothing say about this week because I managed the team today. Before the team, nobody called me and told me anything. Since then, nothing happened. I didn't even check the phone yet, and from that point of view, no, I cannot say anything about it. I'm sorry.
Okay, I tried. We have to look at Mo Salah. It looked like at his former club Chelsea that he'd become the out-and-out fifth highest scorer for Liverpool, only for the goal to be disallowed. Heartbreaking to watch you both look at that offside decision, and you could see how much he really wanted to get the record here as he came off the pitch. We've seen it before.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm here. We're obviously here to win a game, and we can. And Mo is super important for us. But it was just we had to make decisions. We needed fresh legs. Everybody needed fresh legs, and that's really was necessary, and that's why we changed the way we changed. But he has like 500 different records. If one is not involved, I'm sorry, but I cannot think about these kind of things during a game.
Way with 15 minutes to go for a 17-year-old.
Yeah, I was. Yeah. I mean, I get his reaction as well, but I was definitely surprised because I thought Mo Salah played quite well. He had, I mean, it was his assist for the goal, an amazing assist. It was him that had a curling right-footed shot that hit the bar. It was him that was literally inches offside and scored, and it could have been all so different. He was looking sharp. He is, you know, an absolute legend of the club that consistently scores dozens and dozens of goals every season, and to bring him off for a 17-year-old, yeah, I was very surprised.
So you can understand John Barnes all those years ago when he had a stroke when you were 17 coming on to replace him, can't you?
You set me up for that, didn't you?
OK, let's go to Stamford Bridge. This fixture, otherwise the Glenn Johnson derby, of course, who played for both Chelsea and Liverpool. Good to see you, Glenn. What did you make of all that today?
I thought it was really impressive. I thought both teams played really well. Liverpool probably dominated the first sort of 20 or so minutes. But without doubt, it's the best Chelsea performance I've seen for a long time. And the passion they showed, the speed they showed, and they tried to go toe-to-toe with a really good side. So yeah, I thought it was really impressive, and to be here as well, you felt the excitement around the club in amongst the crowd, which you know, it's been something that's been missing for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, we've been saying it's only one game, but were you pleasantly surprised at the difference in Chelsea and the Pochettino today?
Yeah, completely. Like I say, they played a bit like Liverpool, to be honest. You know, there's pressing high up, there's getting in good positions, and then there was also keeping Liverpool pinned back in terms of winning the ball back quickly. So you haven't seen Chelsea players do that for a long time. Obviously, there's going to be a lot more that comes from Poch and these players, but that was definitely a very positive performance from pretty much everyone, to be honest.
Jono, Glenn Hoddle here. Did we see one of the best midfield performances in Europe in Enzo? I think he was outstanding, wasn't he? You were close to it. How good was he today?
It was very good, very good. And, you know, me personally, I had question marks over him early on in his Chelsea days, but, yeah, he won me over this afternoon, that's for sure. You know, he was getting around the park, he looked really comfortable on the ball, he was even getting in tight positions and still staying calm and seeing a pass. You see that pass there on the screen, round the corner, and then and moving forward, that's what they brought him for. You know, even that little check over the shoulder, he knows people are coming, and people are still tight to him, and they're good players that are tight to him too. But he's confident to receive it, and he just seems to know where everyone is. So yeah, today was certainly one of his best days.
Glenn, and just sticking on, it's Michael Owen, just sticking on the midfield theme for Chelsea. Looks like Caicedo could be signing. Would you say that Enzo Caicedo partnership could be probably the best in the Premier League if it comes off?
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, with you see with the skills of this guy and Caicedo keeping it solid, then you know they're going to be a hard partnership to beat. You know, they're going to have legs, energy, brains, skill, technique. As long as they can add some goals, then you've got everything.
And obviously he's got his fellow countryman now as his manager, Pochettino. We've seen at Tottenham how he improves players. You expect to see that even with Enzo Fernandez now?
Yeah, definitely, and that was probably a part of it today. You know, he looked like he loved every minute of his game out there today. You see on that diagram there, he's literally touched every blade of grass, and he genuinely looked like he loved it. Was charging around, and for me, is probably man of the match, to be honest.
Glad we're not getting away with just you being a Chelsea player. You did play for Liverpool as well, so a quick word on Liverpool. How do you think they did today?
Yeah, good. As I said, I think they dominated the first sort of 20 minutes. I think they got probably a bit tired, which is fair play on the first day, you know, towards the end. But as Klopp says, they probably did let Chelsea back into it slightly. But you could probably fight an argument for both teams, to be honest. I think both teams would have been slightly upset that they didn't win. But then, you know, a point away is obviously a good start to the season. And it's more about the performance today, just to get a bit of momentum going into the next game, I'd imagine.
Top man, many thanks, Glenn.
Cheers, guys.
Yes, he'll drive them on. He's all about standards. But as he talked about the young group there, Jimmy, when you look at what he's done in the past, particularly at Tottenham, in terms of improving the players he's already got, does that excite you with that Chelsea group?
It does, very much so, and especially after this kind of performance. You know, the first 20 minutes they had it difficult. They were suffering, and it will do them so much good seeing that they have gone over that and found, you know, a lot of good moments. You can't train that. You know, for 6 weeks long, yeah, as a manager, you're putting things together and you're giving them a structure, and you want to give your ideas to your team and stuff. And then when the first match comes, it's up to them. You know, have I done it well as a manager, you're asking yourself. And to see that, to suffer first in the first 20 minutes, and then come out of that kind of experience, you can't train, you can't give that. So they will grow from that moment. They should grow from that moment.
And 6 of the starting 11 under 24 today, just to reinforce what we're talking about. Michael mentioned no European football, more time on the training ground. So that will be music to his ears this season at this particular stage, won't it?
Yeah, with the work that he'll put in, like he did at Tottenham, you can see what he's going to do. It's stepping stones, and Jimmy's absolutely right. From a pre-season game to the real thing, you don't know how they're going to mentally be. And it's the mental side of the game. Playing a pre-season game's one thing mentally, but to go out there and go 1-0 down at home in front of your own fans with new players in the side, you're the new manager, you're looking at your players going, OK, who can I rely on? And suddenly the whole team responded. From Maurizio's point of view, and then what Jimmy said is right. Then they overcome that, they got back in the game, might have gone 2-1 up, and in the second half dictated the play against a very good Liverpool side. It was a smashing game, terrific game really. Liverpool had their moments, Chelsea certainly had their moments, and I think that's a real good foundation for them to go and grow and grow. I think the only problem at the moment, if you looked at the benches, they need padding out. They need better players.
Apart
to go
from
on that
Caicedo, who we expect Chelsea at some stage to get.
Yep.
Do you expect more business knowing Chelsea?
I think so, yeah. Just
given they've got 15 out.
Listen, they've got some talented players, young talented players playing, but they've got even younger ones on the bench there. And I think some of them might not be quite ready to then go to get them in the top 4 this year. So I think that's something that's very important. Subs are so important. You've got 5 nowadays. They're so important to change a game when the game starts to just peter out a little bit, as it did later on in the game. They didn't quite have that.
And you're going to get injuries.
Yeah, but the intensity of Chelsea's performance just went down when the subs came on. Not their fault. They're not quite ready yet. So I think, believe it or not, Chelsea's squad needs padding up a little bit, which, you know, a few months ago we were saying the opposite. There was 33 going into 11.
Just to go back to what Virgil van Dijk said, he felt Liverpool should have had a penalty, a clear one from where he was standing. Let's just clear that up on Nicholas Jackson.
Yeah, well, this was a corner, Steve, and first of all, I thought that's a penalty. When I first saw it from side on, I thought it's a penalty. He's had a long, long time for that ball to travel, and he's, you know, he can get his arms out the way. However, there is one telling angle where you see Diaz there, and he gets a glancing header on the ball, and it almost glances. He then has no time to get out the way. So once I saw the angle where you see Diaz deflect the ball, then I was quite happy to say that was a right call to say no penalty.
Yeah, me as well. It's so close.
Saved by the deflection.
Yes, absolutely.
Because if it goes straight onto his arm,
then it's a difficult
so far.
And this is the ridiculousness of some of these handball scenarios. You know, he's got no chance of getting his arm out the way from that distance with a deflection, and then, but if it had gone straight onto his arm, they'd have given a penalty. So It's wow, yeah.
Because I was going in, wasn't it? And the spin almost kicked it out as well. But no, I'm happy
So I
with
think
no
the
penalty
deflection saved him.
there. Yeah.
Overall, we've seen two terrific games today. We haven't even seen a 0-0 yet. We've got one more game to go in the opening weekend. And it just never disappoints, this Premier League, does it?
No, you know, it's great. And today, the two games, what a great, you know, games for the Premier League. It's been really like amazing.
Trent said it on his interview. This gets harder every year. This Premier League gets harder. I thought last year was the toughest, but I think the likes of Fulham, what we see them, Everton, you know, they started off well. The likes of Villa, what Newcastle are doing, this is getting tougher and tougher.
You think it's even harder again this year?
I think it's even harder this year.
You know,
Palace are a good side.
You know, as a manager, you can't now say in the Premier League, I'm going to get points there, I'm going to get points there.
Impossible.
You can't. Impossible.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen in the Premier League anymore.
That's why we love it, and the standards are going up all the time.
It is definitely going up. I mean, players are you know, being recruited to the Premier League. Great managers are coming over to the Premier League. You know, we were all excited, I think, before today. We didn't know what to expect, certainly from three of the teams. And we've seen 6 goals. We've seen loads of decisions and talking points, loads of good play as well. I think they've not just been, you know, draws and scoring draws, but they've been entertaining and right the way to the end as well. So a great day's football, and it rolls on again tomorrow.
Yeah, and Ange Postecoglou is going to be entertaining as Tottenham manager, Glenn, that is for sure. You're going to enjoy your old club this season.
Absolutely.
I've enjoyed your company.
Bridge, how do you assess your first game back to the Premier League?
Thank you very much. I think overall I am very pleased with the performance. So happy. I think it was a special day after nearly 4 years. Back to the Premier, I really enjoy. I want to congratulate the player and all the staff. We are working after nearly six weeks all together, and very pleased with the performance, not with the result because I think we deserve to win, but I think very pleased with the performance.
Exactly at that point, because if you look at the stats of the game, you had more position, more chances, more shots on targets as well.
Yes, only concede we shot on target and was goal. That is always is important, no? To realize when you face a team like Liverpool and don't give too many chances. I think it's because we work really well, and therefore was fantastic. That is why we are very pleased.
Can you give us an update about the midfield? Because there's so much news about Moises Caicedo. Is there any close to joining Chelsea one way or another?
I think it's important now to talk about the game. We still nothing to announce. When we have something to announce, be ensured that you will be, you know, informed like your colleagues.
Okay. Paris is nice and all that, but I bet you've missed this, haven't you?
No, I think it's different environment, but I did enjoy it there. But now, yes, in the Premier League, after 4 years, always is, you know, it's a fantastic, you know, way to start the season. I think it was a really unbelievable game against Liverpool, fantastic team, and I enjoy a lot, you know, the match.
Was a draw a fair result?
I don't believe.
Was a draw a fair result?
I don't believe. I think overall, I think we deserve a little bit more. We feel pleased, and we feel pleased, and we feel, you know, in the same time disappointed because I think that we wanted to win, and I am so pleased with the performance of the player. I am so pleased with the performance of the player. Very pleased with the staff after nearly 6 weeks working all to work, and that is really important.
You've got a young team. How excited are you to see just how they can develop?
Yes, it's about to believe, it's about to work, it's about to trust each other. I think, yes, I am really excited. I think I told you before that I am so happy to be here. The connection from the day one was fantastic, and that is why we are enjoying.
What did you make of the
Fantastic, and that is why we are enjoying.
What did you make of the Stamford Bridge atmosphere? Now you're on the right side of it.
No, I think it was great. I think the fans were always with us, even in the difficult moment they were there. The energy from the crowd, and that I am so happy that we come in the first game, you know, in the season, the connection with the team that is always that we are going to need during the season.
They no doubt helped the team put in such a performance full of energy. What was the particular bright spot of your team's performance today for you?
No, I think in the way that I think we approached the game, that was was difficult always from the beginning. But I think how we grow in the game and how we find the way to play and the space and the position on the pitch and how we start to dominate and push Liverpool to play deep and how we start to dominate and push Liverpool to play deeper and deeper and deeper and create chances about everything, in the way that we are working and of course that is the minimum standard that we...
Verdict on what we're done there? Lively? No, obviously, start of the season. Both sides had a very disappointed year last year, and obviously we want to make things right. And I think, we showed a very good, I would say 20-25 minutes with and without the ball, very dominant, and obviously scored a good goal. I think after the disallowed goal, they got a bit of momentum, scored the equalizer, of course, and then it's time to find your rhythm again. And obviously at halftime we spoke about it, we saw clips, and I think in the second half we did also much better. Obviously with the speed they have, on the counter attack, with the guys that can play the balls in behind, then they could get dangerous, and I think they did that, of course, and we defended quite well in my opinion still, because it's not easy. Of course, and we defended quite well in my opinion still, because it's not easy. You don't have to forget that, but yeah, overall I think it was a very good game that could have gone both ways, and we take and improve what we have to do better, especially after today. As always, it might have been more. Might you have had a penalty late on, handball?
I don't know. I thought it was. It looked like obviously the lino flag for offside. It was a clear handball in my opinion from far away. But if it's offside, then obviously it doesn't change it. But that's. You can't change it after the game, that's what it is. And we have to. You can't change it after the game, that's what it is. And we have to do that.
You've been used to so many campaigns with different sides, new play.
Very good. Very good, yeah. Obviously I'm very impressed with the guys and
football.
Very good. Very good, yeah. Obviously I'm very impressed with the guys, and as a human being, coming to a new club, obviously for Dom, new country, it's good how they have been, coming in, and obviously in my opinion our group is very good, but still, it's never easy, and on the pitch obviously the quality speaks for itself. You see today McAllister, incredible. Dom, it's special, and obviously with their age they can be very important for the club going forwards, and I'm very very happy with them, and hopefully additions and